verse 6. Philemon is right after Titus. 1 Timothy, 2 Timothy, Titus, Philemon. There's only one chapter. Verse 6. And I pray that the sharing of your faith may become effective for the full knowledge of every good thing that is in us for the sake of Christ. And so in the act of sharing faith, we actually come to know what we have in Christ. And so the often misunderstood passage, Philippians chapter 2, verse 12 through 13. Therefore, my beloved, as you have always obeyed, so now, not only in my presence, but much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, for it is God who works in you both to will and to work for his good pleasure. A lot of times, these are the only two verses we quote, and we take them out of context, and we become very individualistic and very me-centered, that I have to work out my salvation with fear and trembling. But these verses come in a context. The therefore, as you've heard many times, is there for a reason. And the therefore talks about how Jesus Christ humbled himself and sought our salvation and was made Lord, and how that's how we're supposed to function. We're supposed to count other people more significant than ourselves. And then in this, the context of 12 and 13 actually begins in verse 12 of chapter 1. And it's all about being one man with one mind, fighting side by side for the faith of the gospel. So the way you and I work out our own salvation is actually by pursuing the salvation of other people. That's actually how we grow. And so I'll give you an example from marriage. Not my marriage, but just marriage in general. It tells the husband to love your wife as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her as a fragrant sacrifice pleasing to God. And it tells the husband to do that, to wash his wife with the word, to pursue her sanctification. In the process of him doing that, he himself becomes sanctified. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not a... So, we're always supposed to be growing in our ability to share our faith, growing in our ability to witness. But who knows better than you what Christ has done for you? Because you're the one who was a sinner. You're the one who was lost. I'm the one who was wrapped up in all of my sin and all of my lusts, and I'm the one who heard the gospel, and then something happened. I was convicted about my sin. I knew I was headed for judgment. I cried out to God for mercy, and Jesus delivered me. And now I have total peace with God, and I know him as my Father, and the Spirit bears witness that I'm his child. I'm a eyewitness of these realities. I was there when it happened. And so the message of the New Testament seems to clearly be, when that happens to you, go and tell people what happened to you. That seems to be Jesus' command. Some of y'all have fallen asleep. I can see it. No, but I seriously, we're going to stop here. We'll pick up, Lord willing, tomorrow. And hopefully all of you will be here who can be here. I realize that you do have a life beyond this room. And so if you can come, please come. We have a couple ladies giving testimonies, and then we'll finish up defending your faith presuppositionally. Thank you all so much for coming. Oh, it's my pleasure, privilege, and purpose.